So Punnett square practice is going to take us through how to work some Punnett squares and how to determine if something is dominant or recessive. So for slide number 1, for each genotype, indicate whether it is heterogeneous or heterozygous or homozygous. Remember, hetero is different and homo is same. So in this case, let me see if I can get my pen. For the first one, letter A, we have a big B and a little b. Those are two different. Big and little is different. So it is heterozygous. Hang on just a second. For letter C, I have a big D and a big D. So that is homozygous. So that is the difference. If it is a big little, it is hetero. If it is big big or little little, it is homo. So like letter H is little k, it is homo. So you're going to go through and identify whether the genotype is heterozygous or homozygous. For number 2, for each genotype, tell which phenotypes would be possible. And round seeds are dominant to wrinkle seeds. So anytime there is a big R present, that means it is the dominant, which is round. So our very first one will be round. Letter B has a big R in it also, so it is round. And letter C has no big R's, so it is wrinkled. So you're going to do that same thing for number 3 and for number 4. So for number 5, for each phenotype, list the genotype. Pointed heads are dominant to round heads. So if we're going to use the letter P, a big P would be pointed, and our first one would be big P, big P. Our second one would be big P, little p, and our last one would be little p, little p.
Hey, bro, who got the cabbage?
You'll do the same. No, sorry. What are the different kinds of gametes these parents can produce? Make a Punnett square. What percentage of the offspring will be round? So we're actually going to make a Punnett square on this one. You're going to make a box and put the big R parent on the top, the little r parent on the side, and do the cross. So big R, little r, big R, little r, big R, little r, big R, little r. All of the offspring are big R, little r. And since the big R is present, that means 100% of those offspring will be round.
Okay, how much cabbage you still again? Like 15 milliliters? Is that what it is?
You're going to do the same thing for 7 and 8 and 9. Okay, so for 10, it's going to walk you through the whole thing. In guinea pigs, the allele for short hair is dominant. And they ask you some questions. So let's go through this. What genotype would a heterozygous short haired guinea pig have? I usually use H for this instead of S because big H and little h look different, but the S's look the same. So if it is heterozygous, it's big H, little h. Let's not waste a whole box of tissue. Are we out of paper towels again? Because we just got to roll out. Are there any paper towels out? What genotype would a purebred short-haired guinea pig have? That's going to be big H, big H. And a long-haired would be little h, little h. Now you're going to apply what you know in 11, and 12 is a double cross. So let me set up the first one for 12, and then you can do the second one. So this is going to be a big cross. You're actually going to have 16 boxes for a double cross. And we are crossing big B, big M, little m. So what you have to do is figure out what combinations you can have. So I can have big B, big M, big B, little m, little b, big M, little b, little m. And it happens that both parents are that way. So when I set up my chart,
Give me that one then.
both parents, since they have the same thing, is going to be the same on the top and the side. So then we do our cross. And you can go left to right or you can go top to bottom. It doesn't matter.
Yes, Bozo, I know. Oh, do you have a Sharpie, Miss Muncie?
So you're going to fill in all of your boxes.
So someone else did a great job,
Okay, so what was the color?
And then it's going to ask you some questions about those. So brown hair is dominant to blonde hair. Whether any melanin can be synthesized depends on another gene. The dominant form allows melanin synthesis. Recessive form prevents melanin synthesis. So big M, it would have color. Little m, it would not have color. Homozygous recessive are albino, regardless of whether they have brown or blonde alleles. What will be the expected proportions of phenotypes in the children of the following parents? So we need let's see if I can make a new page. Let's do this. We have brown hair, melanin. So brown hair, melanin. We have brown hair, no melanin. We have blonde hair, melanin, and blonde hair, no melanin. So we go through and look. Anything that has a big B has brown hair. And if it has a big M also, it has melanin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that have both a big B and a big M. Then we look for big B, little m. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Little b, big M. 1, 2, 3. And little b, little m. 1. That's not right. I miscounted somewhere. Big B, little m. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was my mistake. I miscounted my big B, little m's. So we have a total of 16. And that adds up 9 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. Who you need? Caitlin Phillips? Uh-uh. Uh-huh. And we know, since we know our total is 16, we can get proportions of 9, 3, 3, 1. So you can do this for number 12.